Hello and welcome back to the Outdoor Cooking Man channel where we cook stuff outdoors. In this video, this is going to be the easiest recipe, stupid simple. We are cooking caramel popcorn. Now, if you want to impress your kids, if you have kids and you want to impress them, cook popcorn on the griddle. If you want to make them love you, cook caramel popcorn on the griddle. Now, what I use here, it's real simple. In this cook, I actually used peanut oil for whatever reason. I couldn't find the vegetable oil, so you can see them. I'm being very generous with the peanut oil. I had never cooked with peanut oil before, so it was a little bit of experience. But this is a real simple process. What you do is simply just put your granulated sugar in a circle. Inside the circle, you put your popcorn kernels, and then you be very generous with the oil. Now, if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know that nothing is as simple as it seems, and you'll learn why in just a second. In 1 second, you'll notice that I've been basically turning this thing for a while here, and I realize that nothing's popping. Now, this is a very quick process. This cook should take you less than, 10 or 15 minutes from start to finish. And I keep looking like, why isn't anything happening? And I noticed very quickly that I'm actually out of propane. So you'll notice that real quick. But what I've done here is I've just used some regular popcorn kernels. I don't even remember. It's the simple brand there. And then I've just used a stick of butter. That butter is in that pot that's at the top of your screen here. But it's really simple. As you can see here, I just realized that the fire is out. But a good cooker, an outdoor cooking expert like myself, always has a backup propane tank. That tank was brand new, so I knew that it worked. I always seem to, whenever I want to record a video, I always run out of propane for whatever reason. But you can see here, I'm back in the game. Everything's up and running. I actually restart my video right here. You can't really tell it, but now it's just really just getting everything percolating. And what you'll notice here is I start off with small circles, and eventually I'll get into really big circles. Right now the heat is on high, except for the burner to my left. That's actually on low, and I think I'll turn it off eventually because it's butter. I just want it to melt. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I keep checking, trying to figure out what's going on. But eventually I'll make bigger and bigger circles. Now the cool thing with the cover that I'm using, it has a handle, and that handle doesn't get hot. Usually in other videos, I've seen people use bowls, like metal bowls. You can use metal bowl, but make sure that you have an UV glove or some sort of glove to buffer, because that thing gets really hot. As you can see here, the circles are going to get bigger and bigger, and then we'll start seeing some pop out. Now again, you'll be able to hear pops, and they'll start like one pop at a time, very slow, and you'll wonder if this thing ever gets done. But then all of a sudden, you'll get a bunch of popcorn kernels popping all at a time. It'll sound pretty cool. And the reason why I believe that you're doing this mixing is so that you can mix in the sugar and the popcorn kernels. You get everything, and then you're kind of creating some sort of friction by knocking around that cover there. But at this point, I'm starting to hear things. I want to make sure that it's actually working. And as I mentioned, I've got the heat on high. You can see the brown, that's the sugar that's mixed in. Oh, you can see there, I've got a few kernels there popping up, turning into popcorn. But, like I said, that brown stuff is actually sugar and peanut oil mixture. Now, normally I'll actually cut the video off before I clean because nobody wants to clean it, but I actually had a flare up, and I want you to take a look at that because it's important to know that when you're cooking with hot oil and you mix it with water, a flare up can happen. So stay until the end so you can see that. Got a little hairy there for a second, but it's all good. The other cool thing is it's November 9th, I believe what today is, and it's really warm outside. I like to try and cook in different weather so that you can get an idea of how much longer things or shorter things can take depending on the temperature outside. I'm here in Wisconsin, and it's probably between 60 and 70 degrees. I'm not a weatherman, but I think that does have a impact on how long it takes to cook stuff. So like I said, right now we're at the point where we're hearing a few kernels. We should be hearing a lot of kernels actually coming up really quick. And you can see one's there, one popped out there, and you're going to see a nice little brown coating, nice and even. And you'll be pleasantly surprised because when I pop the lid off, you're going to see a few kernels go a long way with this thing. So I should be coming to a close here. The other cool thing is usually it's really windy whenever I cook popcorn, and the second I take off the cover, the popcorn usually goes everywhere. But in this video, there's like a nice little melding of all the popcorn corners. They don't go anywhere. They don't fly anywhere. It actually turned out pretty cool and pretty happy. So at this point, I'm hearing a lot of pop. So I'm hearing a lot of kernels converting into actual popcorn and caramel corn. And so the way that it worked out for me is there's like a mix. There's probably like a, maybe as you can see there, there's like a 75 to 25 mix between caramel corn and regular popcorn, but it actually turned out really good. And it tasted really good. It tastes really good. I've got it right here next to me. And as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm gonna dive right into it. But it's really good. I always like to add in the disclaimer, two disclaimers. One, I am not an expert. I'm not a professional. So take everything I am doing with a grain of salt. If you want to know the exact directions that I've used, click the first link in the description. And number three, if one of the drawbacks of having a griddle is that your wife or significant other will make you cook every single meal out there. And so be prepared for that. That's something that you want to prepare mentally. At this point, I've turned the burners up to high, all four of them, and I'm going to do the cleaning now. This is the part where the flare-ups come in at the very end of the video. And just be aware that when you're cooking and you're using hot oil, as you can see here, I'm actually going to put that butter on right there to make it taste good. Now, one interesting thing is when I mixed in the butter, you notice the popcorn like contracts a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know if I was even thinking about that, but I just found that interesting. Anyway, when you are dealing with hot oil, know that is an option and a possibility. So yeah, be aware. I just want you to see the flare-ups. They happen a few different times and actually happened really close to the granulated sugar, which was off screen. I didn't know if that would start some sort of fire. Luckily, I had the oil on a regular grill, so it was far enough away where it wasn't impacted by the flare-ups. Now, I always take a step back because I have experienced flare-ups in the past, but this was probably one of the worst flare-ups that I've seen using the BLACKSTONE. And it's just a matter of mixing water with granulated sugar and peanut oil. Like I said, I've never used peanut oil before, so that was kind of eye-opening. But here we go. We're going to see that flare up. Guys, I appreciate you very much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. You guys have a great day. And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you are finding these videos helpful. Another quick flare up there. But you guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon.